More about Charlie Walpole. I don't know a lot about that family. I don't know if they were all adopted or not, but I had heard that Charlie was, and that maybe one of his problems was that somebody, family or otherwise, may have told him, and I don't know the truth or falsity of this story, but according to the story, his biological father had been a criminal. And they were raising the question of maybe the problem was that somebody had told Charlie of that blood relationship, and that maybe he felt somehow that he was the bad seed or something. Well, as I say, thank God he hit the man with the pistol rather than shooting him. And of course, I wasn't there. This is all hearsay and reports. But I think probably it was true, because he ended up being tried and tried or whatever they do with juveniles, and sent to a reform school. And it wasn't too long. I don't even remember what the sentence was supposed to be, but I think it was later in the same school year. No, probably, no. It was well into the next school year that I got a call from I guess a corrections officer of some sort, wanting to know if I would be Charlie's sponsor if they paroled him. Man, I thought, wait a minute, that kid didn't finish the 9th grade, he'd be back here in this school, and I'd be his parole officer? One too many roles, so I said no. Well, then a few days later, just a day or two, I guess, I got a call saying that a Baptist minister, a kind, decent, well, the kind of man you expect a minister to be, had agreed that he would be Charlie's parole officer. And now their request was, would I be agreeable to him not being a student again at the junior high? That he had done well in the classes they'd had for him at the school, and they had, I'm sure, done some testing. Maybe they'd gotten our school records, I don't know. But they had the same opinion I had, that this is a bright boy, very bright. In fact, he was a pretty good artist. He could tan skins. He could do a lot of things. He was an interesting young man to talk to, a talented young man. So would I object? Of course I wouldn't object. Well, they said, we didn't think you would. I think they knew I wouldn't. But they said, would you call the high school and talk to them about Charlie and see if you can help us convince them that he's quite able to go into the 10th grade and handle the curriculum? Sure, be glad to do that. Dick Lee's a personal friend, principal up there. So I called Dick. He's a little hesitant. I mean, who wants a kid that may be trouble coming into their school if you don't have to have him? But I'm sure he talked to some others, and they agreed to accept him. And someone laughed and told me later, yeah, Mr. Lee accepted him all right, and he and the counselors gave him the heaviest kind of loads you could give him. He has the good math, and the good English, the high ability level teachers and courses. And I think they said he had Latin, which I didn't even know they taught Latin at that high school. But from all the reports of the grapevine, he had the toughest course that you can have as a 10th grader, and made, I was told, straight A's. Never confirmed this. And they were also happy for him. I was so happy for him. The community was happy for him. He's doing the right thing. He's not missing school, and he's not getting in trouble. Taking a tough course and getting straight A's. You can't beat a deal like that. Then the day came that his parole time was up, and the community and the rest of us were aghast. Parole's up one day, quit school the next. I'll never know. I can't even imagine why he would do such a thing. Never saw him again until, I don't know, 2 years maybe later. We were getting ready to make one of those trips to the mountains. I was helping Riley Scott gather up horses for the trip, for the camp out. And I needed something in the way of repair that could be gotten at a filling station up on the curb right above the junior high where Charlie was working. I drove in there and saw who was going to wait on me. I may be going to have an unpleasant experience. Not at all. It was, "Hi, Mr. Riggs," and just as nice and helpful and polite and everything as anybody could be. And boy, was I happy and polite and courteous and glad. I was glad to see him. He looked like he was doing good, and I think he was doing good. Much later, 15, 20 years later, I'm in the Evergreen community visiting the Caruccis and the Olsons and the Huckabees, and want to contact Charlie and can't, don't know where he is. Somebody told me, "Well, here's a telephone number for Jimmy." I called Jimmy, and he said, "Well, he's down in the Denver area doing pretty well. Never did go back to school, but he's doing work," I think he said, in the carpentry and building trades. If you're still out there, Charlie, I hope everything is well with you and yours. Just as I hope everything goes well with your brother and your sister. And I expect your folks are gone, but revere them. Very nice people.